Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys aren't wondering why there wasn't a video uploaded last Thursday. I explained that in last week's video on Tuesday that I'm working with a company called The Challenge for 3 weeks, so it's just quite hard to film 2 videos a week and get them uploaded and edited and things like that, and do that all in time for Thursday. So I'm just filming 1 video a week for the moment, and then from the beginning of September onwards I will be back to 2 videos a week, hopefully, if I don't get like set in my ways of 1 video a week. But today I thought I would talk about my experience so far with NCS. I am a member of staff on NCS this year. I am working on Greenwich Wave 11 and I am the senior mentor for Team Saberson. Whoop whoop. And I thought I would talk to you guys about my application process and how the first week has gone so far. So let's get on into this video. So NCS is a great way over your summer, especially if you're a student or you work in a school, so you have your summer holidays, to earn some more money throughout the year. I worked last year, so I'm a little bit more experienced than someone who, say, has only just started. I worked as a SCF last year, which stands for a Senior Community Facilitator. So I only work with the young people and the other members of staff within their 3rd week, which is called RCD week, which stands for Real Challenge Design, and that is when the teams start to decide how they want to fundraise and how they want to raise some money for the charity that they are working with, and then they will present their idea to a set of dragons who will decide whether they want to give them money or not. Anyway, so that's the role I did last year. But my application process, it's a very, not a strenuous application process, but it takes a little while. So you first off will apply online through the challenge website. I will link that down below in case anyone's interested in working in the autumn time or they're interested to work next year. I believe applications open around the beginning of next year, possibly the end of this year, because it does take a while. They do hire between, I believe it's between 4,000 and 7,000 members of staff, and about 12,000 people apply, so they only hire about half of the people that do apply. But once you have applied and you've filled out all the details and you've given references and things like that, you will either be invited to an interview or not invited to an interview. And the interviews are mostly set in London, in Waterloo, and they are just, the building is just outside of the train station, so it's really easy to find. And depending on the role that you applied for, so last year I applied to be a senior mentor. I was part of a 4-hour interview. It was a group interview, and you basically go through scenarios and you talk about things and you run through mostly scenarios about, so you'll have a scenario of a difficult young person and you need to role play that out on how you would personally deal with it. So it's quite a tough application, and of course the first year I didn't get the role of senior mentor, but I was offered the role of senior community facilitator, and that was a great way to introduce myself to the program, because of course I wasn't quite prepared to work for 3 or 4 weeks depending on what kind of program you work on. So this year I have worked as a senior mentor. So as a senior mentor, I am in charge of a group of 10 to 15 young people. We do call them YPs for short. We don't want to call them children because they aren't children. They are adults. They are young people. They are a young person like I am. They are not children. They are adults. They can care for themselves at this point, and they sign up to be on the program. It's not just like they're told to do it. I mean, some of them might be told to do it, but most of the time, about 99% of the time, those young people have decided to be there. They are between the ages of 15 to 17. In my team this year, I have 10 16-year-olds and 1 17-year-old. So yeah, you won't, once you have applied and you've been offered a role, you'll be offered a role through the online application. You will get an email to say, or you'll just log on to your account and you'll see that the last section of your application has become blue, which will then show you which role you've been offered and for which wave. So throughout the summer there are 12 waves. The waves start in June and go through until the end of August, start of September time. So it's only during the summer when the young people have finished school or college and all of that jazz. I am working on the 3-week condensed wave. So at the end of the summer, waves 11 and wave 12 are condensed into 3 weeks, and then waves 1 to 10 are the 4-week programs. So I can't talk about the 4-week programs because I haven't worked a 4-week program, but I can talk about my experience on the 3-week program, and I will talk about that once I have finished the entire program. But for now, I have just finished week 1, which was PC week, which is the personal challenge week. So in PC week, you will go away to a camp somewhere, whether that be in Wales, whether it be in the Midlands, whether it be going down south. You will be sent somewhere. Me and my whole wave were sent to Tunbridge Wells for 5 days, so we weren't too far away from home. It was only about an hour away, but you really did feel like you were out of the city, and it was a really nice area. And we went to a place called Bowls, and each team is then given an activities instructor who will stay with them for the entire wave. So the group won't have members of staff like coming in and out. They will get used to that one person, and yeah. So not only do the young people get used to that one person, I also get to have a relationship with that person, so it's not too fiddly for them either. So for our PC week, we did a hike, which is classed as an expedition. We went on a 12-mile hike around Tunbridge Wells, which took us about 6 to 7 hours to complete. We did 1 day of rock climbing and ropes courses and a leap of faith, and then we did 1 day of team building exercises, which I could not partake in because it was more about them. So yeah, so we did 4 days at Tunbridge Wells, and each day we did a different activity with our activities instructor. So the day sort of starts off with all the young people. Our group, we woke up at 7 AM, and then as staff we would have a meeting at 8 for about 5-10 minutes, and then we would start rounding up our groups of young people and just the young people in the dorms to get ready for breakfast. So the dorm setup was that we had boys on one floor and girls on another floor. We had 3 members of staff on the girls' floor and 4 members of staff on the boys' floor, as we had a support worker in our group who needed to be accessible to their young person. A support worker, if anybody doesn't know or nobody's worked the wave, that is somebody who works on a one-to-one basis with one young person who maybe needs an extra like boost of support with the team, but also the support worker is a little extra person for a senior mentor to have in their group as just an extra pair of hands that can help out, especially if you're having a difficult group like some of them were being this week. So yeah, we had boys on one floor, girls the other floor, and they had separate showers, separate bathrooms, all of that jazz. As staff, we also have separate showers and bathrooms, depending on where you're staying that could be different, but we definitely did have, we had two staff toilets that we were able to use between the 3 of us. So as the weeks go on, you also, every night, we ran our sessions from 7 till 8. You will run an evening session with your group, and as a member of staff you don't need to plan that. You will have everything in a booklet that will be given to you on the first day of your wave. Now this is a booklet that needs to come, or this is a folder should I say, that needs to come with you everywhere. It will have a spare session guide. It will have a, depending on if you've lost yours, it will have an ideas bible in it, and I also took my senior mentor guide with me as well, and you will also have a little run through of your wave in particular. So I now have the timetable for my complete wave, so I know what I'm doing next week, and if my young people ask me what's going on next week, I can explain that to them also. But the evening sessions are all about True and TLC. So the first week runs on True, which is teamwork, responsibility, understanding and empathy, and then the second week runs on TLC. And TLC stands for teamwork, leadership and communication. So that is what I will run through my team with next week, but again I haven't done the next week, so I can only talk on week. When you start your wave, you should get a phone call from your APM the day before you start. Unfortunately, I was at work that day, or a few days before you start, and I was at work and I missed the phone call, and so I wasn't sure which team I had. Now you will, if you do get the phone call, you'll be told what team you have, and you'll know from your session guides. You'll have all the information you have that you need in it, but at the front of this booklet that in the front of this booklet here will be all the team names, who created the teams or who influenced the teams, and what each team's skill would be. So I am the senior mentor for Team Saberson, which is the photography group, which I'm quite glad about because I don't know how I would cope if I had a sports group or a drama group, because I wouldn't be comfortable. But I really do think the photography group is not necessarily an easier group, but will be a fun way, because with photography it's very much an art-based thing, so they can really interpret in any way, shape or form. But I have truly won the lottery with the group that I have this week. I have a lovely group of young people, and we really do have some very great characters in my group, and we have some very natural born leaders in the group that don't always need my leadership to work out what they're going to be doing, which is great. They're quite independent, and they don't necessarily need to rely on me to tell them what to do, because I don't want to become across as if I am their teacher. I want to become across as I am your leader, but I'm also a friend. Not in a friend as in such I'm going to go hang out with them, but I'm a friend in as such that they can come and talk to me about whatever they have. Had no problems with my team so far, but you can have some, not some bad waves, but you can have some ways where you do have some troubling behaviour. I know that one of the groups during rock climbing wasn't listening to safety rules very well, and that was sort of like something that went wrong, but I truly have won the lottery with my team. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about the first week so far, and of course the application process. If you get a really good reference from your program leader or your assistant program leader or your assistant program manager, then sometimes the year after you may not have to go through the interview process. I know that I didn't have to go through the interview process again this year because my program leader gave me a really good reference from last year, which meant I could immediately be accepted onto the new role. But yeah, if you guys, I haven't seen many videos about staff experiences and people explaining how the whole staff thing works with NCS. I know when I was trying to look up information about NCS, I couldn't find anything that was relevant to me because I wasn't going to be a young person. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, I know that packing seems to be an issue. I just say pack comfy clothing, pack some trainers you really don't care about ruining. I bought some cheap trainers from Massaland that got super muddy, but they've cleaned up well in the wash. But just take something comfy. I just lived in leggings basically for all 5 days. I took a little denim jacket with me just as a cover up, and I took a raincoat and a baseball cap because we did have a day of complete rain, and then it was really brightened up, so the baseball cap was also a good way to hide my really bad hair days and also keep the sun out of my eyes. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I will get back to you, and I'll reply to you with the hopefully in the best way possible. I will do another video on Team Challenge Week next week and how that all goes. Hopefully it goes as well as this week, fingers crossed. But yeah, guys, I think that is everything I can think of off the top of my head. If I think of anything else, I will put it in the description box down below. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're interested. It's free. Why wouldn't you? You get to see my face more often. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And in terms of the competition winner, I will be announcing it when I finish my NCS, as I only have 2 free days of the week where I can get things done, and I am preparing a lot for the coming days for my next part of NCS. So I have also written on my Twitter about that, and I also put something in the description box of the competition video, so whoever will win, I will send you a message either through YouTube, or if you've left your social media, I will get back to you on there as well. So that is that information out there, so be keeping an eye out for that. And yeah, I think that's everything I've got to mention, so don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.